Hello, welcome to Film Fireside. My name is Bryson. Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made was written and directed by Tom McCarthy. Tom McCarthy is well known for writing and directing Spotlight as well, which won Academy Award for Best Picture a few years back. He also wrote Up, the Pixar movie Up, in case you didn't know. So he's a really fantastic writer and is very well versed, and that just shines so well in this movie. I'm surprised at how much I like this movie. Not gonna lie, I had very cynical ideas about Disney Plus, and especially the original content that was gonna come from Disney Plus. I just wasn't holding my breath for Disney Plus to release anything extremely good right off the bat. And I mean, we've got The Mandalorian, which is really good. I love Togo, by the way. Go see that one too on Disney Plus. And then I just think they have a good thing going. I'm happy with Disney Plus and how they're operating right now. Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made is about an 11-year-old boy who imagines his world through the eyes of him being a detective. He's basically an 11-year-old Humphrey Bogart. And quite frankly, I'm surprised at how much I laughed at this movie. This movie is really, really funny. This film isn't so much funny in regards to like the jokes. It's much more funny and entertaining in this 11-year-old kid's portrayal of a detective. I literally imagined this kid, the character in this movie, Timmy, sitting down with his mom one night and turning on Turner Classic Movie channels, and the Maltese Falcon is on, and he sees that, and that's where he gets this idea of that's what he wants to be, you know? The way he carries himself, the things he says, his view on the world, it's just so funny, and his inner monologue is just so entertaining. I have to give credit to the fact that this is based on a book. I haven't read it. I actually don't even know who the original writer is. To the IMDb. According to IMDb, it's based on the books by Stephen Pastis. Sorry if I said that wrong. I imagine a lot of the humor that exists within the film originates from the humor of the book. Again, I haven't read the book, so I really don't know about this for sure, but I personally feel like this film did a good job taking the feel of the book and placing it into the movie. It felt like that, to me, anyway. All the performers in this film are very good. Again, this little kid was just killing me. I was just laughing so hard at how committed he was to this life of being a detective. And a lot of the adult performers, too, give excellent performances. I think one of the charms of this film is we see the adults attempting to play along with Timmy, you know? Sometimes it's frustrating. Not every adult does that because it is a very frustrating thing to do. To be like, yes, 11-year-old kid, you have a detective agency, and I'm going to try and communicate and get what I need from you in the world of you are a detective. So to see that is really charming because a lot of the adults are very good at it. His mom is very good at it most of the time. One of the other people who are really, really good at it is the school counselor, who's played by Craig Robinson, known for Daryl from The Office. His relationship with Timmy is one of my favorites of the film. It's a very endearing, very touching relationship. He's there for him in a moment where he needs him. Which is really nice. It's really good. I think he specifically is the best adult in the world of this film. He's the best at playing along with Timmy and helping Timmy not feel stupid and like going along with it, and also getting what he needs and wants from Timmy. Now, is this movie like extremely profound and like game-changing and like, you know, make you cry? No. And I wonder if it could have been, you know what I mean? I think that's just one of the flaws I had with the film. One of the things I thought maybe could have been done better is the film in some ways kind of set me up to just, you know, hit me emotionally, pack a punch with a really powerful, amazing lesson, something relatable. Those things exist, definitely, but it's not as big of a hit in the face that I was kind of expecting. And while the film didn't like pack a punch emotionally, like I may have wanted it to. I also appreciate the fact that it wasn't a ready, set, cry movie. I'm usually not a fan of a film trying too hard to like push the sadness of the circumstances or the situation as a tool to get me to cry. And this film could have gone that route, and it didn't. So perhaps the reason it didn't pack a punch emotionally is that they were trying to avoid doing that, which, if that's the case, I really appreciate it. But I wonder if we could have dipped into a little heavier emotional aspects of the story. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. The other thing about this film that's kind of a flaw is, and this is sort of a spoiler, I guess. Yeah, I'll call it a spoiler, so spoiler warning. Sometimes with writing, it's cool to do like a bait and switch. It's not cool to do that in relationships.
Coming up.
It can be an effective tool where they start leading you one way and be like, whoa, just kidding, we're going this way now. It's basically a twist, you know what I mean? Or they show you something and they lead you to believe it is one thing, and that turns out to be something else. The bait and switch of this film was just kidding. The movie starts off with Timmy accidentally driving a truck into this house. And he's like, well, before that, let me take you back. Takes us back, we watch the whole movie, and then when we get to that point of the film, that happens, and he's basically like, just kidding, it didn't actually happen. And then he shows what actually happened, which was that he accidentally backed the truck into a light pole. And while that ending is a bait and switch, it does make sense, like, if we consider Timmy, the character Timmy and what he's going through. Because perhaps that was him now, because he's been using his imagination the whole movie, and now he finally uses his imagination to help, like, you see him growing. His imagination helps him avoid getting in trouble in a situation where before he would have let his imagination get him into trouble. His imagination helped him avoid a situation that was potentially dangerous. I would have appreciated it more, I think, if we'd gotten to that point in the movie and then we see him crash into the house and be like, no, just kidding, that didn't happen. I accidentally backed into the pole instead. The fact that the movie started off with that, it was really I think it distracted from that point. You know what I mean? But it's not the end of the world. I think the ending of the film starts to go towards, like, you know, I started to check out a little bit. The bait and switch thing I mentioned, but also the moment we're all supposed to stand and cheer, you know, we're all supposed to be like, woo, he did it! That wasn't really that big of a deal. And the way the movie ended, they may be planning to make more movies, which I don't think they need to. But they probably will, because it's Disney. The other thing about this film that didn't really work for me, I know it's a huge part of the book. I'm not asking to like get rid of this part because it's a very essential part of the story, but I would have liked them to use it a little better. The polar bear. A lot of the humor for the polar bear didn't really work for me. They kind of told the same joke. That's a demerit. That joke was told over and over and over again throughout the film. Didn't need it as often. It's fine if it was there a few times. I just wonder if they could have used the polar bear a little better. As far as Tom McCarthy's role in this film, he's just great. I am a huge Tom McCarthy fan. Watching this film, loving specifically the writing of Up, and watching Spotlight just lets me know how well versed this man is and how very multi-talented this man is. Just smart. This is a very smart man. This film, I've seen some people like kind of criticize, to be like, oh, Tom McCarthy stooped to this level, which I don't feel like he stooped to anything at all. If anything, this is just gonna help him potentially win an Oscar. I need to look it up again. To the IMDb. I usually like to look into the future as far as specifically the films that are going to come out around award season. I'm always just curious about that. Something I'm interested in because I do that. Tom McCarthy has a film coming out around early November, or at least it's projected for early November. It's entitled Stillwater. The description on IMDb, I'll just read, is a father travels from Oklahoma to France to help his daughter who has been arrested for murder. Looks like Tom McCarthy wrote the screenplay with a few others, but he is the director of this film. I'm excited for it. One of the things about Oscar season is you have to campaign. I think a lot of people view that as a flaw of the Oscars, but I don't. I mean, it's just, you gotta do it. You gotta fight for, the award, the recognition. One of the ways to campaign, this isn't the only way, not everyone does this, and not everyone has to do this necessarily. It doesn't always make that much of a difference. As I understand it, one of the ways to campaign, I'll use Florence Pugh for an example. Florence Pugh this past Oscar season, holy cow. Her performance in Little Women, forget about it. Also in 2019, she was in Midsommar, Fighting with My Family. Killer performances in those three as well. The idea is you push the film that you want to get the nomination for. In this case, Little Women came out during award season, and I think of all her films this year, that would be the one that I would nominate her for. But if she got nominated for Midsommar or Fighting with My Family, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I'd be alright with that. The added weight of work done earlier the year that's equally as impressive or also just very, very good totally boosts the chances of you at least getting a nomination. So I wonder if Tom McCarthy is using Timmy Failure, which is great, really well written, well directed, using that as a boost towards Stillwater and maybe hoping for a Best Director nomination. We'll have to see. And maybe I'm saying this and Tom McCarthy is like, I sense someone is saying something stupid about me. I really love this movie. It's extremely clever. My score of this film, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really liked it. Thanks so much for watching. I want to hear what your thoughts on Timmy Failure are. I want to hear your thoughts on Disney+, especially the films of Disney+. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised by this one. And Togo, do you think Disney is just, we can expect good, nothing but good from Disney+? I'm starting to think so. I want to hear your thoughts on Disney+. Comment below, like, subscribe. Bye-bye.